time to do our morning show.
I wonder how this will go.
Come and watch two guys grow old. These are the days.
If we get a YouTube feed,
We'll just stream on D-Live then. Mr. We
We
could use a man like Donald Trump again. I live in a redneck state.
everybody here's irate.
Man, this intro sure sounds great.
These are the days.
Yes, primetime Boomer Bunker. Here we are. Boomer Bob, John J. Domingo. Thursday, September 16th. Boomer News, Boomer Views, Cool Nights, and Coors Lights, TikToks, and Dad Rock. Don't stop believing, John.
Jesus, Bob. That was one hell of an intro.
I do that every morning. You just don't notice it.
I'm half asleep. I'm not going to lie. I like the nighttime show. I'm not going to lie. It was nice sleeping in this morning.
Me too.
So I'm not going to.
Because they don't expose that I'm a day drinker.
I don't think I've ever seen you drink a beer during the day. I don't know that to
Right,
be true.
because it's in a coffee cup.
See, look
Tricks,
at you
man.
disguising all that. Well, that's how most alcoholics do it.
Like, I'll show you one right now. As a matter of fact, I told you I was going to bring them up. I was going to bring them up if they came up. So, do you know how if you get a DUI in some counties, states, jurisdictions, they make you put this thing in your car that you have to blow into it
Yeah, I've seen them
in
before.
order to start your car. It's
Yeah.
basically it's a breathalyzer, right? Well, check this out. This is a way to get around that. Everybody who has one of those in your car, pay attention. They've got a balloon pump, and they're pumping up a balloon. The music's horrible.
Well, he's drunk.
No, maybe not. And there's the little thing that you have to blow into. You put the balloon on that. Let it blow into it. And it
Did it work? Oh,
pass. Start your car.
God damn these people. You know something? You think that they're smart enough to do that, but they're not smart enough to get help from drinking.
Or, yeah, I'd call a cab or get a ride home.
Yeah, get an Uber.
Walk.
Again, I got to say, anybody that gets a drunk driving ticket now, a DUI ticket now, is a moron because you have apps on your phone. You can call an Uber, you can get a taxi. I mean, it's so easy. And back when you couldn't even get a ride home. You'd have to hoof it home. You'd have to try to hitchhike home.
All right. So this is the night show, so I can maybe dance a little into this particular dance floor, this kind of topical dance floor. You're at a bar, you don't have the cash, you're too drunk to drive. Your car's outside. So you can't call like an Uber home or a cab home, right? You don't have anybody there. There's an ugly chick that you could take home with you, get her to drive you home. Do you do that, or do you risk getting a DUI? What do you do?
Well, if they're my two, again, there's always the third choice of just to go sleep it off in your car.
But cops can rap on your window with their damn light and be like, hey, buddy, if you got keys in your possession and you're in the car, that's a DUI, buddy.
Well, I you know what? I would take my chances on that for the simple fact that I would say, well, the keys are in the glove box and I'm in the back seat and I'm sleeping. So how am I supposed to drink and drive?
Yeah, you could work your way out of it, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't have any money. There's no way I could do an Uber or whatever. But nowadays your Uber's hooked up to a credit card. It's not like back in the day where you had to have cash. It's all there. It's hooked up to a credit card. So if you don't have the money right on you, you just charge the card, pay it back next month or whatever. But I'm just saying, and I know there's been several times where family and friends have called me and said, hey, I'm here and I've drank too much. I don't want to drive home. And I go, where you at? Okay, hold on. And I'd throw on some clothes and I'd go get them and drive them home. I always say to, any of my kids, If you have too much to drink and you need a ride home and you're thinking about driving home, you just call me. There'll be no questions asked. Nothing. I won't care. I'll just come pick you up. I'll drive you home. I won't say a word. Next day, we'll go get your car back. So there's no reason to do that. There's no reason to be out driving drunk. But they still do it.
I mean, I've done it, but back then it was cool,
Of course. Of course, we all did it. We've all, I mean, I don't know. I know I've told this story on podcast before. My buddy drove, I was too drunk to drive. He drove me to his house, which was like 3 miles away from my house, and then went inside and said, yeah, you know what? You'll be all right. And I had a stick shift car and I couldn't shift. I was so drunk. And I drove all the way home in first gear, drove up on the lawn. I was living with my mother at the time. The next morning she comes down and she says, go get your car off the front lawn. The neighbors are looking. I was so hungover. I said, I can't. Here's the keys. Go get off the front lawn. Holy cow.
Yeah, I learned kind of young. My dad and I think between my dad and both my brothers, I think they got enough DUI fine money to buy like another police cruiser.
I got a member of my family that's lost his driver's license until he's in his 30s. He's got, he lost over 10 or 12 years. I forget.
Well, now I think if you get like 3, it's like a felony and you're out. Like you lose, like you're done.
He did jail time. He went to jail. And, and he hasn't had his license in forever and ever and ever. So, and I don't know. I mean, to me, the first time that would have been enough for me, although I'm not a drinker. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, when they say when you start drinking, you lose the ability to logically think. So that's how that shit happens. But now, I definitely have seen way too many accidents and lost way too many people to drunk driving. So, anybody that I know that calls me, I'll go get them.
In the right environment, I'm when I have 6-8 beers in me, I'm pretty damn fun.
Okay.
So
fun behind, but of course. There's nothing wrong with drinking. The driving part.
Whoops.
The drinking is okay. You're having a good time, getting a buzz on, getting loaded if you want to. It's the driving that's the issue for me.
Yeah, or the domestic violence. But I mean,
what? Oh, I see.
Some people when they drink, they fucking get,
right. Yeah.
Handsy.
Well, yeah,
or the rape. I mean,
well, that like Bill Burr says,
problems.
Like Bill Burr says. You open up the drawer. You put the thing in without drying it off. It's going to get rusty. Beating the old lady. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to burn your dinner. Ah! Nothing like a good old fashioned domestic abuse joke. No reason to hit a woman.
No one joke that involves that, and I've already told it on the show. So
right, no reason to hit a woman. I could give you 15 right now. Wake me up out of a drunken stupor, I'll give you a 9. Bill Burr, gotta love him.
Did you notice our Bill Burr? Like I sounded like guy put up a couple more.
Yeah, I have him right here.
Hold music.
Apparently he's going to do some barbecuing, which I like. We're going outside this time.
One of them I've seen he did a hot pocket. I just don't see anything you can do to a hot pocket to make it seem anything near palatable.
Well, he wrapped it in bacon and basted it with barbecue sauce. I beg to differ. Here he is.
What's up with the rub?
Fucking bourbon cheeseburgers! Hit your fucking buns with the greasy liquid chicken yogurt! Spark up your fucking griddle, bitch! Toast up your fucking buns! Get your fucking meat down! Smash them down! Get your fucking dry rub! Fuck them up with the rub! Melt your fucking cheese!
Rub.
Bottom bun! Fucking rabbit food! Raw ketchup! That asshole root! Incinerated cheesy cow pancake! Sweet bourbon glaze! And the fucking roof! And shove it up your fucking ass!
So basically, he made a hamburger.
Yeah, I love it. He says rabbit food, raw ketchup, and then something
Some kind
badass,
of-
something for the onion ring. Yeah, it was really pretty good. Yeah, he's I like watching his TikTok. He does well with them.
It can't be easy to put those together.
No, I'm sure it takes a little while. Once you get listen, like anything else, once you get set up and you get used to it, it's probably a lot easier to make them. You know, once you know how to do it and what you're doing, it's probably a lot easier to make them. So,
What's up there, Chef?
oh, Chef's in the house. See,
Finally.
that's what you should do, Chef. You should just take a camera, have your mom film you screaming, and make a dish.
Well, problem with him, he'll probably have a few like racial slurs in there.
It's all right. Who cares? Just don't show your face. I love TikTok. People say that they don't like it. I absolutely love it. They pull the best clips. I mean, we use it for the show all the time. I have 2 clips up here that I could not get the video anywhere else. I went to TikTok. They were there perfectly cut. Yeah, there's some stuff on there, that they put on there, some text or whatever, but who cares? It's the audio that we're really looking for.
Yeah, I like today. I pulled a couple off of TikTok because I couldn't get them anywhere else, and it had the writing on the top and emojis underneath and all that. So I cropped those out the best I could.
Did you? I don't give it.
Without putting in too much work. So
Okay.
I don't like if it takes too much effort, man. I'm out. It's just here's some emojis underneath. I don't care.
Yeah, I think my TikTok algorithm is locked into politics and food. That's like I don't even see a chick anymore.
Mine's all yeah. I don't get a lot of that because I skip them. I'm not interested. I know, great, right. You can dance and you got a big old butt. Who cares? And I don't like the songs that they dance to usually, but mine are all over the map, from like home repair to cooking to just husband and wife shit.
Yeah.
That guy, the one I was doing the other day that I played a bunch from, the husband and wife, where he makes a wise ass comment and she picks something up and like throws it at him.
Yeah.
He did another one today. He goes, the wife goes, "Honey, I think our dishwasher's broken." And he was like, "Yeah, I guess I need to get me another one," or something like that, talking about her.
Right.
Of course, she went and dumped water on his head. But
dude, I saw one. This is what I hate. This is a TikTok thing that I hate. They go, watch till the end. As soon as they watch till the end, I'm immediately suspect.
I'm done.
This was a 3-parter. A guy's out fishing and he hooks into something. And I'm telling you, it's bending the rod. It's taking the drag. And I got to see what's going on here. It goes through 2 parts. He's fighting this fish and fighting this fish. Gets up to the end of part 3 and the line snaps. I was like, you asshole. You made me watch this. I don't even know what was on the other end of that. I have no idea what was on the other end of that line.
Yeah, that should get you kicked off of TikTok. You should be able to vote.
Yeah, it should be a violation. It should be, I don't know. What would they call that? What do the kids call that today? Oh, a low-level troll.
Yeah.
Right. But I was fuming because I just wanted to see what it was. I was like, my God, this has got to be a huge grouper or a shark or an alligator.
Low-level trolls. So I've scrubbed this ahead a little bit because it's just nonsense.
Okay.
Look here in the background, 67.1, 32.9.
Right.
This is the Newsom results the other night. They were coming in, live, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You scrub ahead, and it says down here at the bottom, 67.1, 32.9, what you just saw over here on his screen.
Right.
Go over, and that guy says the same thing.
Right.
All right. Then you scrub a little bit forward here. What they say is not important. They're just talking about the results and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, did you see the bottom? It flipped.
Let me see. Go ahead. I went to 70 something.
Well, it just flipped. See, his did too. See here, right here on the bottom, it says 67.1, 32.9, but this one just flipped. Well, the one at the bottom does that same flip right there.
Okay.
Oh, looks like they changed graphics. Okay.
Right.
I don't know. But if you'll look, this one says 52% in right above there.
Okay.
Right here where my mouth wiggling around. And then one says 49% in. Now, what I did was I took a screenshot and I added it to the end of the video here, where you zoom in on it. 52%, 67. Okay. How many votes are there? Okay, with 52%, you got 4.53 and 2.25. Sorry, 2.225. So
Right.
4.53, 2.225 with 52% of the vote in. But
Right.
when you transition,
He lost votes.
the yes number, sorry, the blue number there, the one that stays the same. But if you look here up here, 49, it was 52.
Right.
Now it's 49. The blue votes are the same, exact same number. I'll back it up.
Okay.
4530002.
I got you.
Fast forward 4530002. Same numbers. But the other guy,
Do you think
the
maybe
other
it's just
one,
in the
dropped.
booth that do the graphics and all just kind of screwed that up? Screwed the
I mean, this
pooches?
one drops. How does it drop?
Well, I mean, that's 52%. And then if you go
Okay,
to
so
49,
that other-
it's dropped. So you
Right,
would
but that 3% was 350,000 votes for one person, or for one, yes or no, whatever it is.
listen, I would love to jump on
Yeah.
this. I would love to jump on this. The election is fixed thing. And when am I going to say that there's fraud there? Yeah, I believe there's fraud. And do I believe that mailing voting needs to be stopped and we can't do this anymore? And I don't give a shit if it's, if there's COVID or not, put a goddamn mask on and go out and vote, or get yourself an absentee ballot. I don't care which, but just mailing votes or ballots out to anybody that's on the register is bullshit. Yeah, I understand that. But here's the other thing, Bob. What really got under my skin? You know what really chapped my ass? You know what really grind my gears? You know what really made my balls slap together? Where were the Republicans for Larry Elder? Who, besides Trump, who else came out for him? I mean,
who could have and still, weathered that, the attacks, other than say like DeSantis or Abbott or, one of those, Kristi Noem.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, California is a shithole state. It's going to go down the tubes. It's just going to be, it's a shame. It's a beautiful place. And it's a shame that these people are just going to just make it a third world country. And because now after this, anybody that has any money, Republicans, they're all leaving. All these Hollywood people that were there, they're behind a gate, and even they are going to start leaving. But what they're trying to do now is say, okay, if you leave, you still owe us tax money for like 60 months after you leave the state.
How's that legal?
I don't know. I mean, as long as if people do it, I'm sure they could sue, but nobody's going to say, well, you can't do. I mean, it's ridiculous. They just make this shit up.
Well, I think that a lot of these corporations are beginning to learn that if they move to a predominantly red state, sorry, like say Alabama, Mississippi, whatever, Georgia, they could not only pay less taxes, but they could also move more Democrats into those areas and flip the state to the other side.
Okay.
Point. And that's what they've done with Texas.
All right. You're a corporation, and all you care about is your bottom line, and you're making money and your profit, right? So that's all you care about is the bottom line. So now you talk about a state like California, and you have Target, where people are just coming in with shopping carts, stealing everything off the shelves and walking out, and nothing's happening. All that shrinkage, all that money lost. You think they want to drag Democrats and flip the state?
That's a peaceful protest, John.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is.
Peaceful protest, mostly peaceful protest.
Yeah. Well, you try it. You as a white man walk in there
allowed to.
And load up your shopping cart and then just walk out and see how far you get.
I would have to go Ted Danson at a Whoopi Goldberg roast in order to get away with that.
Right. I mean, it's stupid. And don't come at me with this racist shit. Just go look at the videos. Go look at the videos. It tells you everything you need to know.
Those were opportunity zones.
I'm telling you right now.
Look up opportunity zones.
I can't.
I don't mean you. I mean the
my
listener.
head, my head will explode. I'm just, like I said, I'm just tired of us one party taking and ruining this country and the other party just sitting there on their thumbs and not doing a damn thing about it. Where are the Republicans? Where's the fight back? Where's the pushback? Ugh, this guy.
Hey, it's your buddy.
President Lyon.
So, did you watch his thing today?
Nope.
Well,
too busy.
I could only clip so much of it because I really don't want to lose our ability to stream on the 3 platforms we currently have.
Why?
I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose it because I would
mean,
yell
why would we lose it if we played a speech by the president of the United States? Why would
commentary would get us kicked off?
Oh, your commentary would get us kicked off. Okay.
But I did clip this part because this is the part about it. Despite all of the bullshit, ridiculous crap that he was blaming everybody else but himself for this state we're in, and trying to make it like he cares about your grocery bill and your electric bill and your child care costs, like he gives a shit about any of that. That stuff just had me turning red. This is what bothered me about the whole thing. Now he makes it sound like he's talking about corporations paying their fair share, and what they're gonna pass. If this is, he sells it like this is only for corporations, but trust me, that's not the case. Pay attention.
But that's not how it works for people with tens of millions of dollars. They play by a different set of rules, and they're often not employees themselves. So the IRS can't see what they make and can't tell if they're cheating. That's how many of the top 1% get away with paying virtually nothing. It's estimated by serious economists that that number is about $160 billion collectively owed each year that doesn't get paid.
Stop it for a second.
My plan would help.
Go ahead.
So I know what he's doing. Basically, what he's doing is now he's going to have the banks send the IRS all your bank records so they can sit there and go over all your stuff.
Damn, you're good.
Yeah. And basically, this is going to hurt. Well, this is going to hurt gig employees. And this is basically going to, this is actually, I don't like the way he's doing it, but I understand why he's doing it, because what it's going to do is it's going to take away the cash economy. I know, people are paying cash. All right, if you give me cash, I'm not going to tax you on it. And that a lot of that shit goes on in cash businesses. There's, stores on Sunday, you never see them ring anything up. The cash register drawer is always open, and everything that's going on in there is a cash business, and they just put that. It's called a skim. So I understand what he's doing here, but it's just a shitty way to do it. The way you do this is you just make a national sales tax. Make a national sales tax, and everybody that buys something pays a national sales tax. This way, there is no, there is no
like a flat tax.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. No, a flat tax is different. It's on how much money you make. A sales tax is on how much money you spend. So if you're a big,
some of the presented ideas for flat taxing was to do it when you buy something at the store.
Well, that's a sales tax. So in other words, if you take it, like the more frugal you are, the less you pay in taxes. If you're somebody that spends a lot, boats, cars, snowmobiles, all this other stuff out, as my dad would say, good time, Charlie, and you're out spending a lot of money, you're going to spend more in taxes. Right. For somebody that's more frugal, stays at home, staycations, they're not going to spend that much. So, I guess that's taxing the rich.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody hear it come out of his lips. There's only half a minute left.
So, for example, it will give the IRS the resources it needs to keep up with the lawyers and accountants and the super wealthy. It would ask just for 2 pieces of information from the banks of these folks.
There it is.
That amounts that come into their bank accounts and what amounts go out of their bank accounts, so that the wealthy can no longer hide what they're making.
And anybody who comes to his defense, oh, well, he's saying it's just for the wealthy. You really think they're gonna just monitor the transactions on the bank accounts of only wealthy people?
No,
it'll be everybody. And it's just like John said, it's to usher in a digital currency. This is getting your feet wet, dipping your toes into the water so that you'll get used to them being, or getting you used to them knowing every transaction that you make and having, records of it to hold against you for tax purposes, so that when they do usher in the digital currency, you'll be like, well, they already know everything I buy anyway, so what's the difference?
listen, Joe, I got a news for you. You're a moron, because guess what happens? This won't work. The people that like that skirt taxes and shit, they're going to continue to skirt taxes, and this is how they're going to do it. So in other words, they're not going to put money in the bank. They're going to take that money, they're going to cash it out somewhere, somehow. They're going to launder it, and they're going to keep it in their mattresses, and they're going to keep it something else. They're going to put it in cryptocurrency and all. For everything, every move you make, there's a counter move. Now, in John's world, there would be a federal sales tax, and the first thing that would be is a bunch of unemployed IRS workers, because you wouldn't need them anymore. You don't have to worry about this loophole and that loophole.
How much money would that save?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? And the same thing with corporations. You know, you close up the loophole, and they would have so much money they wouldn't even know what to do with it. But
they'd find ways.
The corporations would shit their pants. They would shit their pants.
Chef Tristan says, I don't like the thought of the IRS seeing my transactions. This is so close to social credit shit.
Yeah.
Well, that would come after the digital dollar, the digital currency, no more actual paper money, whatnot. So
apparently there's only one, in my opinion, there's only one thing that makes sense of any of this. And it's that we've already been sold to China. What they're doing is just trying to condition us. They're getting the sheeple already. They're getting them to give into this because it's kind, and we don't want to say anything bad about anything, or God forbid we offend anybody, and they're weakening this country. They're weakening the children. Their propaganda in schools, which is weakening our children and brainwashing our children. And making America, they're already saying, that America isn't a good country. Tell me a better country than the United States for opportunity and everything else.
Mars.
It's not a country. It's
a
planet.
I did put together another clip of his speech.
You're torturing me tonight.
I think you can tolerate this one a little bit better. Ready?
Let's see.
All right, here we go.
Bipartisan physical infrastructure plan and the Build Back Better plan that I have proposed. We're going to pay. And let me ask you this.
Biden is, barely alive.
And the choice.
I made his feet. I made his feet move to the beat.
Just walk away, Joe.
You like that clip though?
Yeah, well, as long as he's not talking, yes. I've never seen anybody screw over a country so fast in my entire life. Nobody.
Can't remember who it was. I was listening to somebody the other day. They were like, you know, I am impressed with how fast he's done it. I thought it would take him years to wreck this country, but he's done it in 8 months.
It's amazing. It is utterly amazing. You would, like I said, you can't even try to wreck a country this fast. And I mean, nobody's this stupid. No, when Trump was in office, there was all kinds of people around him not letting him do stuff that he wanted to do because they're like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Nobody's saying shit to Biden, and the mainstream media is covering from him. If Trump did the shit that Biden was doing right now, all those news stations would be just screaming at the top of their lung what a tyrant he is, how this is tyrannical, this is against the Constitution, who does he think he is? But now Biden's doing it. They're all just sitting there with their hands over their mouths and sitting on a thumb. They can all go screw themselves. And they're just a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party or for whatever this shit is that's going on here.
Well, did you hear about the Woodward book?
No, the guy from the
Woodward and Bernstein.
No, I haven't. He's got another. He's still alive.
He's a CIA guy, man. You know, he's getting information from them, and they're just writing books for him and putting his name on it. I mean, that's tinfoil hat shit. But
okay,
I think that, and no, I've keep like repeating this, but I have to like preface this that I'm not a huge Trump fan. I loved his policies. I didn't like the man.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm with you.
But I think that Trump and ultimately this country should be granted a do-over. And this is kind of an example why. Now, this is a long clip, and I'll just try to power through it. I apologize about the length of the clip, but first I have to find it.
That always sucks.
I think it somehow it's like totally like missing out of my list now.
It's totally like missing, man. See, it's the man coming into the show and taking away the receipts that we have, man.
It very well might be, man. Somebody may have tampered with it because it was here like 2 hours ago. I double checked every video in my in my video vault and made sure that they were all there. You can tell by our,
Hey, what's going on is the globalists are coming in and they're taking away our videos. They're taking away our receipts. They do not want us to be exposed by the boomer bunker.
Basically, in the book, General Mills. Sorry, I think that's his name.
General Mills.
Sorry, Milley.
Okay.
Milley.
Milley. That the treasonist.
He's the one. He basically it was in the book that after the election and Donald Trump not agreeing with the election results, he basically put everybody on the horn, everybody under his command, and said, "Hey, your orders come from me, not from Trump, from now on." And there was also he admitted somehow that he's been on the phone with General Li, that's Li from China, and telling him, "Don't worry. If we decide to attack you, I will call you and let you know. I will warn you before we attack." Now, why would you do that?
Why is this guy still? Why is he still in the military? Why is he not?
He needs to be court-martialed right now. I don't understand how he.
And he needs to be tried on treason. I mean, this is the definition. Remember a guy named Benedict Arnold? He did that. And his name is no, that's Eggs Benedict.
Oh, my bad.
Right, with the holiday sauce. Did you say holiday sauce? It's Hollandaise sauce, you moron.
Hollandaise. Correct.
anymore. Did you find it? Did you finally
No,
find it?
honestly, that clip has disappeared from my Google Drive. Isn't that weird? I'm not saying anything, but I'm pretty good about stuff.
You know, Google's owned by a Chinese company, Alphabet.
So I found this clip, and it's pretty interesting. Senator, what's his name? James Risch. I can't enunciate his name.
Right.
Risch. He's from Idaho.
Ah, okay.
He grills Anthony Blinken pretty good. Now there's a clip before that kind of explains what he's talking about. Check this out.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do now.
I remember
Whatever you want
this.
me to do.
I was watching it live. They had comments turned off and everything on YouTube.
They just shut it off. I'll take comments.
Shut his mic off. Now this is the other day. It's Monday.
Can I ask you a question? Oops. One of the things that I've been working on with some others is
Oh, he's going off book. Turn it off. Shut it off.
Look, we've all seen this. We saw it as recently as yesterday. Somebody in the White House has authority to press the button and stop the president, cut off the president's speaking ability and sound. Who is that person?
I think anyone who knows the president, including members of this committee, knows that he speaks very clearly and very deliberately for himself. No one else does.
Well, are you saying that there's no one in the White House that can cut him off? Because yesterday that happened, and it's happened a number of times before that. It's been widely reported that somebody has the ability to push the button and cut off his sound and stop him from speaking. Who is that person?
There is no such person. Again, the president speaks for himself, makes all of the strategic decisions, informed by the best advice that he can get from the people around him.
So are you unaware that this is actually happening? Because it happened yesterday at the Interagency Fire Center. It was widely reported. The media's reported on it. And it's not the first time it's happened. It's happened several times. Are you telling this committee that this does not happen, that there's no one in the White House who pushes the button and cuts him off in mid-sentence?
That's correct.
That's a tell right there. That giggle.
So this didn't happen yesterday, nor on the other occasions where the media
This is almost over.
showed the American people that his sentence was cut off in mid-sentence.
Yeah.
Are you saying that didn't happen?
Senator, I really don't know what you're referring to. All I can tell you is, having worked with the president for now 20 years, both here on this committee and over the last 9 months at the White House, the president very much speaks for himself.
That's bullshit. The guy's a liar. God.
I don't know why they call him Blinken. I didn't notice him blink once.
Jesus. This is what we have. This is what we have. Thanks, Biden voters. Thank God we don't have Trump in the Oval Office anymore. Thanks.
Here's another one for you, John. You ready?
So I'm wearing my upside down flag today, and I think that's appropriate because it signifies an America that's in distress. And maybe some people don't know this, but my dad just let me know this. A text message went out last night from the Secretary of Defense to all the active military personnel saying, by 10 a.m., you have to go get the magic potion or you're going to be court-martialed. And so as a result of that, 12 F-22 pilots, the most highly trained pilots in the world, walked off the job. That's 12 million dollar aircraft grounded now. A dozen of the best pilots in the world, thousands of hours of training, millions of dollars of training, off the job. 16 crew members for B-52 bombers walked off the job. That's just 2 air bases. My aunt, who is a KC-135 boom operator that refuels planes,
Boomer,
getting the magic potion, she's gonna walk off her job too, most likely. So now we're reached this point for all you dumbasses who have not been speaking out about this and the mandates, the people who are quiet about it, the people who are pro-mandate, you're to blame for the situation that we're in because we're going to a bad place. The military is being compromised at a rapid rate, and with the F-22s being grounded, you could kiss Taiwan goodbye. I would hate to be a Taiwanese citizen right now. So this is probably not.
Well, I would hate that anyway.
In the media, I'm sure it's blocked or censored by all the bullshit that goes on here. But it's time to freaking wake up, people. You better start preparing because your little cushy American life isn't going to be so cushy much longer when the rest of the world realize how freaking weak we are with this idiot who's in office and all this bullshit that's been passed and what's happening to our military. So the flag's staying upside down.
Quick question.
Yes.
How does the military walk off the job? I mean, don't they have like a certain amount of time they have to do? They just can't quit. The military can't just
I
quit.
think the rule is if you don't get vaccinated, you're fired. And that's with the military too. You will be dishonorably discharged.
This is great. Just great.
Don't worry, John. I've got the answer right here.
Go ahead.
Now, I had to put, I'm sorry I didn't crop this one. I had to put my own music. There was no audio to this when I got it. So I put my own music. So if you, I'll even turn it down a little. I put my own, I didn't want to use anything copywritten. So here we go.
Hey, Bob, did you put your own music to this? Well,
This is our military. Yes, I feel safe now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have never seen anybody work that music into every episode like you do. You love that drumming farting.
Was I going to use this?
I don't know. That will work.
Here, let's mute the audio and do that again here. Is that better?
It does actually work.
It kind of does, don't it?
It does work.
I didn't have this on that on my Mac Mini where I
know.
I edited this clip.
I know you like your song. It's fine.
I like fart noises.
I know you do. It's okay. Nothing wrong with a good old fashioned fart sound every once in a while.
I just hope whoever tells me when my mom passes away that they fart or do a fart noise just to help me bear that news a little bit easier.
Right.
I'm an Alabama fan. I wouldn't say I didn't go to like the University of Alabama, so I don't have a reason to be other than the fact that I like them and they always win. You know? They call Alabama the Crimson Tide. They call me Boomer Bob. So,
they call me John Domingo.
Charlie Brown of podcasting.
Yep.
You like my little watermark there?
I do like it.
So I saw this and I'm like, I have to share this. Roll Tide.
Yeah, I've asked a couple of the other older guys about this, but do you have a favorite saying that Saban has, one of his little coaching quips he has?
Not that I can think of right now because he has so many, but there are a few I like, and he always talking about touch D's or suck on D's or all that.
That's not real.
It's real.
Touch these or suck on these.
So I like clipped out the part where he's like, So that's why it jumps a little bit. No, that's the actual clip. So
that's the ones he can remember.
Touch knees or like suck on knees. I mean, I don't see Lord Saban doing that. I just don't see him doing that. Sorry.
Hello, faggot lovers everywhere.
I can't.
You're exactly right.
Holy shit! What's going on down there in Alabama?
A lot of winning, son.
Roll Tide.
You can. Hey, you know how your team, the Eagles, won last week? You're welcome.
Okay, whatever.
Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, you probably got like a defensive coach that came from Alabama. I mean, because there's all kind of talent comes out of the University of Alabama.
Oh, okay. Just, you know what? Don't strain yourself, patting yourself on the back over there, Bama.
What is I guess this is your story, the Durham. You want to go into that or no?
Sure. I put this up here?
It's not my story.
I did put that up there. This is interesting.
I'm afraid to talk about Clinton, man.
This is really interesting. Durham expected to indict Clinton connected lawyer on Trump-Russia matters. I feel that somebody is about to get suicided.
Epsteined.
By, with 3 bullets in the back of their head. It's a suicide.
I'll go ahead and bring up the article if you want to keep talking.
Sure. So John Durham is a special counsel, and he is getting ready to indict Michael Sussman, who was connected with Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign and they're going to get him for allegedly lying to the FBI during meetings about the Trump-Russia matter. And again, you only see this on the right or conservative media. Every mainstream media mums the word. Meanwhile, once Trump was elected for 4 years, all we had to hear from CNN and MSNBC is how Trump is a Russian spy and an agent for Putin, and Nancy Pelosi, that false tooth chopper falling out of her mouth, was doing the same thing. I would love to see if this happens.
Yeah,
I would love to see them drag him into court, and then that would drag her into court. And I would love to see all this stuff come crashing around behind him. I just don't think it will. I mean,
it's made out of Teflon, dude.
Well, the other thing is, with the FBI, even the FBI, they can't. Even when they get caught doing sketchy shit, and none of them get fired. Did you see what's going on with the Olympic gymnast team? How they went to Congress and they were in a.
I've heard a little bit about it. It's at that that is disturbing as hell. Everything that's going on, all of the neglect on the government's end is just disgusting.
And the FBI came in, took their statements, and for 17 months they didn't do anything. The statements come back out again. The girl read the statement. She says, "There's nothing that I said was in there." They made it was like it was no big deal. It's like, all the abuse that I had to take. Well, listen, the doctor's going to be in jail for the rest of his life and then some. But the FBI that covered this up, they're just, no one's saying anything to them. No one loses their jobs. No one gets any kind of reprimand. Nothing. No one gets demoted. How the hell can you have this where a guy is molesting young athletes that are training for the Olympic team, and you just sit on your thumbs? The other thing is, how does this guy, this doctor, how is he still alive? Because I know that if it was one of my daughters, he would not be breathing still. There's just no way. God, I in jail. You should just take him right out back and execute him. Taliban style. Some things the Taliban get right, in my humble opinion. But yeah, I would like to see her. I would like to see her feet held to the fire. See how long that lasts. I don't know. She'd probably have her yak head on and hold some kind of big giant meeting at the base of a mountain, the big bonfire, and everybody in white spandex. Next thing you know, this all goes away. I'm sorry. I'll take my tinfoil hat off now. What do you got, Bob?
No, you're fine. I was doing production. I had to download a video that for some reason I hadn't downloaded yet, but I got it. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Okay, let's rock and roll. Tell me a story.
So you seen that Nicki Minaj got suspended from Twitter?
Did she really? Because Twitter says they didn't.
Well, she had done a tweet the other day that Joy Reid had replied to. She said something about her
brother's friend
brother's
Friend from
cousin or something like that. Yeah,
Trinidad
had taken the vaccine, and then his balls swelled up, and that he was now impotent.
or he got the elephantitis.
Something,
Where his
yes.
balls swelled up and he could no longer, he was impotent, and his
And that his girlfriend or his the fiance called off the wedding over
yeah,
it.
why wouldn't you? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, that's you're not even married to this guy yet, and that's what you want. And first of all, in Trinidad, can women call off the wedding? Aren't they pretty much property in Trinidad?
I do not know this.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like, for 5 goats and a yak, you can get a wife, and she's got to do what you tell her.
All right. Well, I'm going to go over the news story real quick. One Nicki Minaj tweet after another is being debunked this week. The pop star said Wednesday that she had been invited to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to discuss her recent tweets about coronavirus vaccines, but the White House responded that it had just offered her a phone call. And after she said she had been locked out of her Twitter account over the same tweets, Twitter said it had not penalized her in any way. Now, when she cited a secondhand story about a cousin's friend's testicles swollen as the result of a coronavirus vaccine, top public health officials in multiple countries said her claims were false.
Really?
Yeah. So here's I guess this is a CNN video about it. So I think
rapper Nicki Minaj says that her cousin's friend, and she put this
never
on
mind.
social media. She has 22 million followers. She said he has swollen testicles
this
after
is a
taking
joke.
the vaccine. She cited that actually as one of the reasons that she has yet to be vaccinated.
And she goes on to say his friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding.
This one's for the boys with the swollen testes. It's a tale that was told by my cousin's bestie. No need to fact check him or debunk him. So the facts fill the sack with 2 massive pumpkins. And it's sad, too bad, he's right, God mad. How could you love a man with some beach ball nads? Distraught, he thought she loved him alive, but now his love looking lifted from Epcot. Didn't make a sing long, still a normal ding dong, but it made his ping pong. Look at the King Kong. That side effects can be so bizarre. Now he's got 2 moons like the planet Mars. I said, excuse me, the plight of this man should be told to my 20+ million fans. I mean, think of just how large my reach is to share about James and his giant peaches. Oh, yes I did get a reply from Flat Earther Kid. He wrote, thank you for this anecdote. Don't tread on my scrot.
that is mildly creative. So you get the point.
Yeah, actually, that was a pretty good Nicki Minaj parody.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. Like I said, I don't know what to say about this. I mean, yeah, when I read that, I was like, really? I don't know. I mean, I heard the vaccine does a lot of things that make your balls swell up. That one I haven't heard yet. Not saying it couldn't happen. I'm just saying it might not happen. All right. So this was interesting. In Ohio, there was a school board meeting, and apparently there was this book, like 642 writing prompts. And they gave it to students that were in their senior year, 17 years old. And apparently it had some really weird shit in it. And they didn't want the kids to take the book home. But one of the parents got a hold of it, and all hell broke loose.
Uh-oh.
So they went to the school board meeting, and this is what part of the writing assignments. Oh, hang on. Give me a second. I got to share it. Almost played the audio again, Bob. You know me.
We appreciate you waiting.
Here we go. Another TikTok video.
Mr. Zero, write a sex scene you wouldn't show your mom. Rewrite the sex scene from above into one that you'd let your mom read. Describe your favorite part of a man's body using only verbs. Describe a time when you wanted to orgasm but couldn't.
Now.
You've just been caught in bed by a jealous spouse. How would you talk your way out of this? Write a sermon for a beloved preacher who has been caught in a sex scandal. 10 euphemisms for sex. You're a brand new suicide hotline counselor. Describe how you feel during the course of your first call. Write a letter from the point of view of a drug addict. Drink a beer. Write about the taste. Write an X-rated Disney scenario. A room full of people who want to sleep together. The first time you had sex. Choose how you will die. Write a scene that begins, "It was the first time I killed a man." You have a dream that you murdered someone. Who is it? How and why did the murder happen, and what happens afterwards? You are a serial killer. What TV shows are on your DVR list, and why? I hope each and every one of you is as uncomfortable as I am after reading that.
So basically what she's saying.
Now, imagine you are a 17.
Whoops. Basically what she's saying is that this book and these writing things are basically grooming these kids. So the mayor comes in, and he's the last person there. So he comes in and he makes a statement. And
were these actual things presented in a classroom to students?
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So these are just writing prompts. So then the mayor comes in and where did it go? Oh, it's there. Where did it go? Where did my thing go?
That looks like
I got it.
I think you played part 2. I think this is part.
I know. This is part 1. You had to play part 2.
I understand. It makes sense.
All right. So here you go.
Earl, members of the board, my name is Craig Schubert. I'm the mayor of this city. It has come to my attention that your educators are distributing essentially what is child pornography in the classroom. I've spoken to a judge this evening. She's already confirmed that. So I'm going to give you a simple choice. You either choose to resign from this Board of Education or you will be charged. Thank you.
Whoa. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where did you get to town or school board, whatever?
It's called Hudson County. It's right outside of Cleveland. It's in Ohio.
Okay, it's in Ohio.
Now they're already saying that, they can't really charge the school board but they definitely can make them resign. And this is where we got to start taking this country back at the school level.
I love seeing that. That provides a glimmer of hope,
Yeah. I mean, right now, cops have to wear body cams. There's cameras everywhere you go. Why isn't there a camera in a classroom so that you can watch what your kids are being taught and spot check? I'm sure there's a bunch of Karens that would love to dig into this crap.
I mean, I've brought that up back in the day when my daughter was going to daycare, 20 some odd damn years ago. One of the things that, they would offer as a perk was to give you a login password and everything where you could go online. Of course, back then, cable internet was kind of new, but you could log in and see a camera that was in the room up in the top corner of the room and see everything going on where your kid is. And there was one out back on the playground. You could go from camera to monitor your own child.
Yeah. This is, I think, what we need to do with schools. And then the other thing we need to do is have some kind of organization that goes into these schools and watches and looks at the curriculum that's being taught. Just like that guy that they got rid of, where he was an Antifa and he put up the Antifa flag, the anti-fascist flag.
Yes.
And, Project Vera has got a hold of him, and now he's unemployed. We've got to find teachers, activist teachers like this, and get rid of them. Listen, you want to be an activist? Fine, be an activist. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you don't be an activist and go into a school and start basically brainwashing, gaslighting kids to your point of view, that's not your job. Your job is to teach critical thinking, reading, writing, and arithmetic. The whole school system needs to be overhauled. They're not teaching kids to be critical thinkers. They're not teaching these kids to learn math. They're making a bunch of just puppets, just video game playing, minimum wage having basement dwellers. That's what that's what we have now.
Whose bank accounts get monitored every transaction by the government.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, basically they're working menial jobs. They're living at home. They're not doing, when I was their age, I was already out. I was working I had a career. I had an apartment, That's not going on. They don't care anymore. And parents, my father told me that I had a certain amount of time to get my shit together and get out and either learn how to, have my own place and all that. I wasn't allowed to hang around the house. I couldn't stay there forever and ever and ever.
But when you were 18, okay, minimum was like $3.35 an hour, something like that. And I know you weren't making minimum wage. You were probably getting above that, but you were, if you were, let's say you were getting $4 an hour, right?
Oh.
That's only 160 a week. Well, that's like before taxes.
When I got out of school,
rent was like what, like 300?
Yeah. When I got out of school, I was making $7 an hour was what I was making. And I was bringing home like I think I was bringing 280 home. I mean, my gross was 280, and I think I was bringing home like $200 a week, which meant it was $800 a month.
So I get an apartment for that much a week, right?
You could get an apartment for that, something like that. And you could have a car. What's that?
So that ain't the case now, man.
No, it isn't the case now. And that's, like I said, that's the shit that we need to talk about. This is the stuff we need to do to raise the, it's funny. My father, when they signed that NAFTA bill, he says what basically is going to happen is everybody in all these other third world countries are going to be making, he said they're going to be making $8 an hour, and everybody in the United States is going to be making $8 an hour. So in other words, instead of it's just going to drag us down and raise them up. And That's where we are. And then you have the haves and the have-nots. See what, again, history always repeats itself. You saw what happened with the French Revolution. That was all about income inequality, where they basically brought out the guillotines and killed the rich and redistributed the money. I'm not saying we should do that now, but what I'm saying is
I mildly empathize with the youth today, like this gentleman that's in the chat right now. He's young 20s and he works every day. He's out on his own, but it probably takes him more than a week's pay to pay his rent. And then I'm not saying he makes okay money. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's unskilled labor, but rent these days. I mean, I've looked around because I paint apartments, so I want to know what they're charging. And I paint upper end apartments. They're charging right around $2,000 for a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that. But what, and he also says kids don't stand up because the system punches them down. You can't just lay over. You got to keep fighting.
That's part of why you have more of these adults, that are 22, 24, 25 years old living at home with their mom because there ain't no way they could get out, dude.
We did, we would get 4 or 5 guys together and rent a house and you were out, and 5 guys rented a house and you live together, but they don't do that shit anymore. And they're not learning trades. They go to college.
Well, they all want to be video game designers.
Well, that's great. But that's how many of them being a video game designer is like being a rock star musician or
content creator.
Yeah. It's a crapshoot. It is a 100% crapshoot.
Like I was surprised when I heard your co-host from your other show say that he thought about going into HVAC. Like
that would be fantastic. But when is he going to
do that?
Yeah, but when is he going to do it? He's never going to do it because he's going to, he comes home, he works.
He's trying to wave right now.
And then basically he's, this is something you really got to work for. And I remember when I was his age, I worked 2-3 jobs. Used to work one job, then you'd have a part-time job at night, and you would have something on the weekends.
He'll get tired of it because he's been in a roommate scenario for a while now, and he's just only recently kind of taken over the place on his own because his roommates moved out. Mm-hmm. So he took the place over, and I think he's on like month 2 of taking care of everything on his own. He has his girlfriend there, but it's give him about a year and he'll be like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. And the issue is with that is I don't think things are going to get better. I don't think in a year that rent's going to drop. I don't think that wages are going to go up that much to offset. I think if he doesn't get off his ass ASAP, and now's the time.
I remember the early 80s when we had this kind of like 70s, basically when it was the gas embargo that we had. It was the first time where gas went from 22 cents a gallon to almost $1 a gallon.
Yeah.
And all hell was breaking loose.
75, 76.
Right. And then what happened was the interest rate went up to like 18%. All right. And that knocked that shit down. But you can't do that now because the national debt's so big that they can't raise the interest rates that big because it would just bankrupt this country. So now we're just in the circle in the drain.
That's the other thing that the potato in chief did today in his speech was he blamed the prior administration.
Of course, it's always the prior administration.
For all the debt. For all of the debt.
Yeah, this guy can't take all the debt. He is spending money like a drunken whore.
I knew that was coming.
Spent more money in the first 9 months of his presidency than Trump spent in the whole thing. And again, I'll hear from people, the guy from Detroit with the bad internet. Oh, John, he doesn't understand. Look, he wants to. I don't know how much money he spent, during this COVID thing. We're coming out of COVID. This pandemic is over. It's an epidemic, but it's not a pandemic anymore. There's a vaccine out there. People that want to get it can get it. The people don't want to get it, sorry about your luck. And this is over. The government needs to be out of this. The extra unemployment needs to stop. People need to get back to work. We need to start doing things. There's plenty of people getting COVID, not a lot of people dying from it.
Well, during his economic speech today, he managed to squeeze in, of course, COVID and go out and get your vaccine and the vaccine mandates. And then he also squeezed in climate change. Everything's climate change. If a cow farts in Texas, it's because of climate change.
You know something? This climate change is the biggest misdirection thing I've ever seen in my entire life. If we did nothing, the climate's going to do what the climate's going to do. There's nothing we can do as humans to stop this. Nothing. You can get rid of all the cars and all that other shit. There's still that many people in here.
What do you think that their drone strikes are doing? I mean, what do you think? The
drone strikes. The news says, oh yeah, Biden has a drone strike to retaliate for the 13 people that were killed during a suicide bomb. Now we find out he basically droned an innocent and a family. And then everybody says, well, what is it? Was it an operative or was it a family? Oh, we don't really know. Your buddy Blinken. Oh, we're not really sure. It's under investigation. Yeah, you'll never know. You'll never hear shit about this. God, I've never seen.
I put this together for an episode of my own show that I wasn't happy with it. But if it's okay, I would like to maybe do it here.
Bob, you do what you want to do, Bob.
All right. Well, I referenced Hurricane Nicholas that had dumped 14 inches of rain around Galveston, Texas, and causing flooding problems all over the region. And, well, this sucks because I've been there. I've lived where there's hurricanes and it dumped 22 inches of rain, and it does suck. And I learned that I didn't like the variables involved with living in an area prone to hurricanes and flooding. So you know what I did? I moved. I gave away my home to my brother and his son, and I started over at 34 years old. Now, everything seems to be climate change. Forest fires started by neglecting power line problems in California is climate change. Rain in Arkansas, climate change. Hurricanes that have been so common that we have a designated hurricane season. We've had a designated hurricane season since 1935. That's 86 years, people, before the internet, okay? Before the internet. But that's climate change as well. But when it comes to this virus and this pandemic, let's pull out all the stops. Let's create billions of vials of vaccine, billions of vials for vaccine chemicals, billions of needles, billions of Band-Aids, mile-long lines of cars burning fossil fuels to get the shot from the comfort of your driver's seat, trillions upon trillions of masks, most of which end up in Kroger and Walmart parking lots. Countless PPE like gowns, face shields, gloves, plexiglass dividers for every cash register and school desk, oceans of hand sanitizer and the bottles to distribute them, battery-powered touchless hand sanitizer delivery systems, chemical spraying sanitizing machines that sanitize offices, entire buildings, cars, homes, even concrete walkways and streets. Yes, I have seen them sanitizing streets with these machines. Not to mention the gross amount of waste making protest signs. Nothing I love more than seeing a climate change activist holding a cardboard sign stapled to a wood stick carved from what used to be a tree while holding their Starbucks Grande cup with the other hand. Are you with me yet?
Dude, I was out today and I went by a college near me, and it's a state college. There's a lot of kids there. They're walking down the street by themselves, open air, nothing around, masks on. Masks on. Now, for every 2 kids that I saw without a mask, there were 7 kids wearing a mask. It's crazy. I mean, I can understand in a building, in a classroom, you want to do that. They're walking around outside with these masks on for what?
I see people driving alone in cars with the windows rolled up with masks on, John.
I saw a TikTok today. A TikTok, and the guy's sitting there. He says, I can't believe this. I'm going to show you. Tell me you're a Biden voter without telling me you're a Biden voter. It's a woman driving in a convertible with a mask on, roof down, mask on. Are you kidding me?
Like the other day, the guy that I showed on a motorcycle with no helmet and a mask on.
Exactly. It's the nonsense that's that goes on. And they don't even believe it themselves. Here's the thing. The cameras are on. We got the masks on. As soon as the cameras are off and we're by ourselves, nobody has a mask on. They're all off. They don't even believe it themselves. They're selling you a whole tub of shit. And you're just sitting there with a spoon eating it up. You dumb pieces of shit. I'm sorry. I like this. Tristan says, my old ROTC instructor said our missile technology is so advanced that they can see the terrified face on the target in HD from the camera on the tip of the missile. That is amazing. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Yeah, our hospitals are being overwhelmed. We will fire nurses who don't get the vax. Morons. Morons! All of yous. And we're allowing it. What? But okay. So here, what am I supposed to do? I live in New Jersey. My 2 senators. These are the senators I'm going to complain to. Cory Booker, Spartacus, who's full on board with this. He would never ever go against the party. He's right in step with them. Or Bob Menendez, the guy that was convicted of nonsense, and they couldn't find anybody else to take. And they couldn't find another person in the state to elect. They elected him again. That's what we're going to do. And where are the Republicans? Where is the outrage that all this stuff is going on?
See, my wife understands the point of my rant. They're all about climate change, but they're okay with, throwaway masks and vials and needles and everything else involved in it. Because, pandemic.
Look, I'm going to go back to my original statement that we know so much. At first, we didn't know. All right, so we did everything. We threw the kitchen sink at it, and now we know. And now that we have therapeutics and there's treatments and stuff like that, this doesn't have to be the way it is. Yes, people are getting getting COVID. My God, I couldn't imagine. Today, I was like in New Jersey, just in a 24-hour period, they got 2,200 new cases of COVID. I'm thinking to myself, holy mackerel, they must really have that machine wound up. They must be doing like 50 cycles. But the deaths are way, way down. And what was it? In my family, on my ex-wife's side of the family, they had a, I guess, like a mini family reunion over the weekend. And everyone's vaccinated. And the one family member, the kid got COVID, and now they're checking the other ones. The mother has it and the father has it, but they've all been vaccinated. So now, remember when they said, we get the vaccine, you won't get COVID, you can go back out, take the mask off? Not anymore. Now they're saying, well, you know what? you get the vaccine and you get COVID, it just won't be that bad. You won't die from it. You won't have to go to the hospital. It's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. Nobody knows what they're doing. And I'm vaccinated. All right. I've had both jabs. And apparently in a few months, I'm eligible for another one. Whee! And you think we can get any kind of information, whether that's good or not? People are quitting their jobs over this. We don't know what to do. Just give yourself a sign of the cross and who knows what's going to happen. All right, Bob. Got anything else?
Well, we have to save some things for tomorrow morning's show at 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern.
We got to do this again in 11 hours. Holy mackerel.
What?
I'm only kidding.
I kind of I look forward to it.
Yeah,
with my buddy John.
Yeah, I look forward to it too. I like doing the night show. Not gonna lie, I love doing the Thursday night show.
Yeah, I can't do it every night because I got a wife.
I know. We know about the wife. We understand about the wife.
I enjoy her company.
I'm sure you do. That's why you married her. But I'm saying one night a week. It's not bad. One night Thursday nights.
All right, I've got 6 dad jokes. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 6, and I will say that jokes.
4.
Okay. My wife keeps sending me blurry pics of herself in the shower. She has self-esteem issues.
Beautiful. Like it. All right, Bob. Say goodbye.
See you in the morning.